Since 2007, Apple has been selling a device under the name Apple TV. Recently though, this name has taken on new meaning, especially with Apple's dive into creating TV shows. This has made the Apple TV name pretty confusing. If you go to Apple's website, at the top of the page they have Apple TV app, Apple TV Plus, Apple TV 4K, and Apple TV HD. That's a lot of products with the same name. So what exactly is Apple TV? I want to start with the two products named Apple TV 4K and Apple TV HD. These are streaming boxes, similar to what you get with the Amazon Fire TV and Roku devices. The difference between the two is one is able to output 4K video, and the other can only output HD or 1080p video. So these boxes are what you would plug into your TV to watch TV shows from services like Netflix or Hulu. I personally use my Apple TV box for everything on my TV. I subscribe to Hulu, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime Video for streaming shows. I have YouTube TV to watch anything that would be on cable channels. If I want to rent or buy a movie, I buy it through Apple. And I also use Plex for live TV and DVR for local channels through an antenna. The Apple TV HD goes for $149, and the 4K version goes for $179, which is pretty ridiculous when you can get a Roku or a Fire TV stick for like 20 or 30 bucks. I'll leave the decision on which one to get up to you, and maybe for another video. But for me, I picked the Apple TV because of the interface design, and I'm already really deep into Apple's ecosystem. So that covers the Apple TV streaming box. Next, there's Apple TV Plus, which is Apple's TV show service. You can think of it as being somewhat similar to Netflix, but only in the fact that it's a way you can watch TV shows over the internet. The big difference between Apple TV Plus and Netflix, and it's a massive difference, is that Apple TV Plus only has shows that are made by Apple, which means there's not much of a selection, at least for right now. As of right now, there are only about 10 shows to pick from. The most popular ones, which you may have heard of, are The Morning Show, See, and For All Mankind. You won't find shows like Seinfeld or The Office on Apple TV Plus, which is why I would consider it to be closer to something like HBO instead of Netflix. So how do you watch Apple TV Plus shows? I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about Apple TV Plus, is that you can only watch it on Apple devices, which is not true. Right now, in addition to Apple devices, you can watch them on Samsung Smart TVs, Roku streaming devices and TVs, Amazon Fire TV devices, and on the web. All of these platforms have an Apple TV app, which is the last part of the Apple TV brand. So the Apple TV app is where you'll sign up and watch Apple TV Plus shows. When you want to watch a show on Netflix, you open the Netflix app. So it makes sense that when you want to watch an Apple TV Plus show, you open the Apple TV app. To make it a little more confusing though, the Apple TV app can also be used to watch shows from other TV channels, buy and rent movies and TV shows, and it curates content from services like Amazon Prime and Hulu. That was a lot, so let's break it down. You can subscribe to other streaming channels, HBO, Showtime, Starz, Epix, and CBS All Access, and watch them through the Apple TV app. So you might be wondering why you would do this, why you would watch them through the Apple TV app. And I think there's a couple reasons. One, if you're paying for these services, you can pay Apple for them. So your credit card is only charged from Apple and you only have to give your number out to Apple instead of spreading it to all these other companies. Also, all this content then will be funneled into the Apple TV app. So you don't have to bounce around between different apps to find what you want to watch. Then there's buying and renting movies and TV shows, which is just like it used to be through iTunes. You buy a digital version of the movie or show and you can watch it anytime. Lastly, apps like Hulu and Amazon Prime integrate your watch history with the Apple TV app, which means you can start the next episode or continue where you left off from within the Apple TV app. So this will show you some of the shows that you've been watching recently. So when you click on it to start the next episode, it will still open that specific app, but it's nice to be able to start from the same place. The Apple TV app will also recommend other content from these services. All of these other functions make it a little more murky when you want to watch an Apple TV Plus show, because there's all this other content presented to you, but it is in there. So if you made it this far, hopefully things are a little less confusing. Let's do a quick recap just to be safe. So Apple TV has the streaming boxes, the HD and 4K version. There's Apple TV Plus, which is Apple's own TV shows. And finally, there's the Apple TV app, which is where you watch Apple's TV shows and content from other services. I know it's a little confusing, but hopefully after this you have a little better understanding. Thank you for watching.